Hello, we're here with Ryan Staniszeski and Karen Klaus, and they're with Green Balance Hemp and Wellness. And we're going to be talking about your company and how it started. So why don't you guys give us an idea, how did Green Balance start?
Hey, thank you for having us. I'm Karen, this is Ryan, and we do own Green Balance. We are a local company. We've been in business now almost 16 months. We are based in Crown Point. However, we don't have an actual brick and mortar, so we do a lot of online business, a lot of local events around the area, and we also collaborate with a lot of local businesses just to get our name out there, to get our brand out there as well. We know there's a lot of CBD floating around in Northwest Indiana these days, so we're trying to just get the education out there and become a local trusted source.
Thanks for having us also. Thank you. We started Green Balance, like Karen said, about 16 months ago, but prior to that, why we started and how we started, we were both living in San Diego for a few years. Moved out there a few years ago, and just a life change. CBD is very prevalent out there, and we kept seeing all over the place, and our friends, you gotta try it. So we did. We said, well, go to the health food store and get some CBD. So we did, and we tried it, and a couple weeks later, we're not feeling anything. What is it? It's gotta be good stuff. Everybody's saying, CBD. So a friend of ours said, well, maybe try a different brand. And we said, okay. So we went to another store and got a different brand, and same thing. A couple weeks go by, and not really feeling anything. Gave it another, maybe we just needed to take a little bit longer. So we took it a little bit longer, another couple of weeks or so, nothing. So started, we're like, well, this has to be, it's all over. There has to be some validity to it. So we started doing some of our own research, a little bit more in depth. Come to find out, all CBD is not created equally. So, okay, well, what is the difference? Why didn't the stuff we had work very well? Or what makes them different? So we really started delving into that and trying to find. We finally found a decent brand that we tried, and we started feeling some benefits. Sleep issues, anxiety, a little bit of back pain for me. I know Karen found some focus, and more of like a preventative for her. Came down to ingredients and the potency of it. So all CBD is not created equally. Fast forward a little bit, we moved back to Indiana because California is just so darn expensive. Beautiful, but expensive.
But did you see the snow?
I know. There's a lot of days I ask why.
Where's the sun? Where's the sun?
So CBD became legal, we moved back at the very beginning of March 18. Luck has it, CBD became legal March 21st of 18. It didn't click right away. We're both back here. We're just trying to get our footing back, and a couple of months later, I just said, maybe we should start a CBD company and try to spread the knowledge and stuff that we found. So that's kind of the inception of Green Balance. It was just kind of a let's help spread the word. We found some benefits from a quality CBD oil. So we ended up partnering with a farmer in Colorado. Searched a lot of them because we were very particular about what we wanted in our oil and what we wanted to represent. So we finally found a farmer out there that we partnered with. So we source all of our CBD from Colorado. That's how Green Balance started, and here we are 16 months later.
But what makes the Green Balance product different than the stuff that I can probably buy at the laundromat or the tanning salon?
Or the muffler shop?
Yeah, exactly.
Muffler shop. Wow, that's a new one.
It's a new one, yeah.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Sadly, it's there.
The fact is, you'll probably need it before you get the bill from the muffler shop.
Oh, that's true.
That's true. Yeah, the anxiety.
You can't even pull in the lot for $100 just to pull in, just to say hello.
One of the main things, Ryan touched on it briefly, is ingredients. That's one of the key things. As I mentioned earlier too, it is literally everywhere. And what sets Green Balance apart from many other CBD companies? There's a lot of good out there. There's also a lot of bad. I think some folks think it's easy money, and it's a fad right now that They're just trying to cash in quickly, and obviously we certainly don't have that belief, but it comes down to a few key things. I think we're going to try to touch upon some of those things as we talk a little bit more. Want to talk maybe about what CBD is in general, and then maybe we can go into some of the things that make Green Balance a little bit different from some of the other companies.
But it is interesting to know is that you started this company off of personal experience, out of the need that you had to find out. Well, everyone's saying CBD is good, but that's not what we're finding. And so then you stumbled upon, oh wow, there's a lot of differences out there. So that's what people need to know,
Yes.
is that you guys base this company off of research and finding quality product and quality hemp to use in the product.
So what is CBD?
Absolutely. CBD it's a cannabinoid, which is found in the hemp plant, and CBD is short for cannabidiol. There's some different pronunciations out there for it, but cannabidiol seems to be the preferred.
Okay.
So you have in the cannabis family, we get a lot of questions about, what is the difference? Like you just said, what is it exactly?
Yeah.
Folks don't know. We didn't really know when we first started using it. I mean, we really didn't.
Right.
But hemp is a derivative, it comes from the cannabis family. Cannabis family also produces marijuana. So you've got marijuana, you've got hemp. CBD comes from the hemp. It doesn't have the THC content, which is prevalent in marijuana that makes you high. So that is where the CBD comes from. You get a lot of the benefits from it, the medical type benefits without being high, which is alluring to a lot of folks because they can take it during the day and not have to worry about, walking around high all day.
And the hemp plant's an amazing.
Right. So I think it's
if I take CBD, I'm not going to get high.
You are not.
There we go.
You are absolutely not. The legal limit is 0.3% or less. And what that means is in a bottle of oil, that is the maximum amount of THC that you can have in that bottle. That doesn't mean that that's exactly what it is because every batch is a little different. But you absolutely will not get high. We tell
So you
folks,
can use it and drive your car and go
you
to work and do
absolutely
all those
can.
things.
You
that
can
people are
function
like,
very normally. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good.
You absolutely can.
So what are some of the things that it helps with? What type of pain, what type of anxiety or, fear?
Yeah, it can help with all that. It can help with a slew of ailments. The list is shorter of what doesn't it help with. We talked about that a little bit earlier, but some of them are a little far-fetched. But they say it doesn't help with death. It doesn't cure death.
Yeah, it's like taxes. It's going to happen.
Baldness.
Yeah, it doesn't make your
Doesn't
hair
cure
grow.
baldness,
No,
okay.
no, common cold, But true, it does help with a lot of things, and it doesn't make it clear. It doesn't cure anything. CBD's not going to cure anything.
Right.
It's going to help manage. It helps a lot. Mostly pain, inflammation, anxiety, sleep issues. We get people that come to us, migraines, fibromyalgia, neuropathy, nerve issues.
Diabetic nerve pain. I mean, the list goes on and on.
So really it helps with the symptoms of these issues, but it is not a cure necessarily.
I know a lot of cancer patients that are personal friends of mine who use it to help with the nausea issues from the chemo and the different medications or the neuropathy that they get from the steroids that they have to take to keep them from getting sick from the chemo and
I
everything.
have a couple of really close friends, and that's exactly what
Yep.
they found benefit for,
And I
especially
personally
the
have
nausea.
fibromyalgia, and it's a lifesaver for me. It really is.
Great to hear.
We all have an endocannabinoid system in our bodies. I mean, and it was discovered, I don't know if I'm going to get the year right, I think early 90s, I believe 92. 92. So what that does is there's receptors in your body. So the CBD, whether you take an oil, you take a gel cap, you wear a patch, you eat a gummy, it activates these receptors in your body. We try to explain it, again, we're far from physicians, but in layman terms, these receptors are somewhat dormant and they're not firing correctly. So the oil, again, or the CBD itself, will just help bond to that and help those receptors fire better, and it gets your body back in homeostasis. which is balance, which is how we came up with our name. Green for obviously the hemp plant.
Right. 'Cause it's
But beyond
natural
that,
and good
green,
for you.
organic,
Yes.
and it's good for you. And then balance, obviously, because CBD does get your body balanced, and that really is our goal and our mission. So there's science behind
Oh, yeah.
how it can help with somebody who's got anxiety, and then the next person, a family member, a friend that has severe migraines and they're debilitating. There is.
Now, one of the common things that we think we hear about, again, the key factor is THC. They're worried, okay, I've got to apply for a job, so I've got to go in for a drug test. They don't have anything to worry about with CBD
Well,
products.
unless they're taking like a
Well,
gallon of it or something, maybe.
That's a good question, Bill. We get that a lot. And
I'll
you're,
bet.
you're right. I mean, I suppose if you drank a gallon of it, I mean, you're going to have some THC in your system. But like Karen said earlier, the legal limit is 0.3%. And that's like in a
That's the
bottle.
THC
or-
content.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a bottle of oil. It can be a container of anything,
Right.
a salve or a lotion or something, whatever it
Sure.
is, 0.3%. Depending on the level of drug testing at somebody's job, it could show up a trace amount. I mean, there is a trace amount of THC in there. So if, what we'll tell a lot of our customers or potential customers, folks that ask us that question, on a standard test, I mean, it's pretty astronomical that you're going to fail, just like a standard drug test. Now, folks that are working in unions or the transportation department, nurses, any type of field like that, they're probably zero tolerant. Police officers, firefighters, probably zero tolerant. So if anything shows up at all, that could mean, which we don't want that to happen to somebody. So we do offer some THC-free options, which we can talk about in a little bit.
Okay.
But our answer to that is, there is that trace amount in there.
Sure.
It's possible it could show up.
And we always encourage people, you should check with your human resource department, because we had a gentleman that, early on that worked for a Department of Transportation, thought for sure zero tolerance. They actually went to, I believe, 0.5%. They were allowed to go to that level. That's above the legal limit. But had he not asked the question of his human resource department, he wouldn't have known, and he maybe wouldn't have chose CBD at all, or he would have went to our THC free, which is sometimes called an isolate.
Okay.
So there's a couple of terms, a lot of jargon. Obviously CBD itself, but full spectrum means that there is THC in the product. An isolate means that it's THC free. So those are a couple terms that folks will see, and they need to understand. So when they're purchasing a product, it should be on the label. If it's not, and they're concerned about that, they need to be asking the question of whether it's THC free, or it's an isolate, or it's a full spectrum.
There's also, real quickly along with that, there's another term or type that has come up lately. It's called broad spectrum. And what that does is they're able to pull out the THC. Well, let me backtrack really quick. An isolate, like Karen talked about, is only CBD. So if you have an isolate or THC-free product, generally means that it only has CBD. Now there are 114 known cannabinoids. CBD is just one of them. Okay, so a broad spectrum will take that THC out, but it allows it to keep some of the other cannabinoids in there. Does that make sense? So you have like a zero THC, and then you have, with just the CBD, then you've got a zero THC, but it still has a few cannabinoids in it, and then you've got the full spectrum, which is
Which is
Well,
all the
on your
cannabinoids,
website,
you're getting
you've
all
got-
the benefits.
Yeah, on your
So
website, you've
the
got a
full-
wheel that kind of
Correct.
shows you the different types of cannabinoids that come in the hemp plant.
Yes.
So I mean, I found that to be extremely educational to get to see. I mean, I had no idea.
Right.
Yeah, full spectrum, you're getting the whole plant.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting that benefit.
Now, we're talking about the isolates, we're talking about the different types of CBD. Now, one of the things that people probably want to know, my gosh, because that's what brought you to creating your company, is the quality and knowing what different types. Now, in Indiana, it's required to go through testing. All these products, CBD products, have to be tested.
Well,
So-
are supposed to be tested.
are supposed to be,
Yes.
but that's what we could, so talk to us a bit about testing and what you put your products through to adhere to state statute, and also let them know, if a person has a concern, that there's a coat on your product, right?
So we have, I'm just going to show you a representative bottle. So this is a 500 milligram oil. And on there, for our labels, this is what we do as Green Balance. Every company's could be a little bit different, but for Green Balance, we have the QR code right there. So you can scan that from your phone. You can use your camera on like an iPhone. You can use the actual camera. You can download an app. We also have on our website, this will pull up the third-party lab report, the certificate of analysis. So it shows you per batch that this is truly 500 milligrams of CBD, and it has the 0.3% or less of THC. This is a full spectrum, which we do on our labels. We identify full spectrum. We make it very clear that it's 500 milligrams, and again, that QR code. So if you don't have a smartphone, you can go to a computer and you can pull up that lab report. We have it on everything. Again, it is a state law. It became July 2nd of 2018. It is an Indiana law. So it's state by state, does things a little bit differently, but we pride ourselves on the transparency. We will.
So if you're at your local muffler shop and there's nothing on there that you can check, know that you don't
walk away. Walk away. Don't get the muffler there either.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm going to Green Balance for my CBD, but I'll still pay my bill. But
We've seen a few out there, not many. I think companies that don't have that on there, or they're not going to last.
Right.
So it's becoming more of a standard to have this, but we've seen some out there that don't have this,
Right.
and
With a picture of a Looney Tune character saying acne.
But unfortunately, there are people that
provides.
try to take advantage
Yeah.
of an upcoming market. And this is a huge market.
Of course.
I mean,
Absolutely.
people, and I kid you not, smoke shops, tanning salons,
Yeah, every place you can get it.
gift shops.
Yes.
And so it gets confusing for people. So what you guys are trying to do is bring that confusion, eliminate that confusion from your product and letting them know that you're a good quality product, you've been tested, and also your literature talks about the different types of product and so on. So why don't we get into that now, about the dosing and your different types of product?
Well, we've got this guy sitting out here right now, so we'll talk about him. This is our kind of we call it our introductory starter. If you've not tried CBD before, this is a good one to start with. It's our 500 milligram CBD oil. It comes in a 15 milliliter bottle, which is a half ounce bottle. We use 2 ingredients in our oil. Let me touch on that real quick. We use 2 ingredients in our oil. CBD oil, obviously got to have CBD oil, hopefully.
You would think.
Read some stories about that not having CBD. But we use CBD oil and coconut oil. You have to have a carrier oil so your body can absorb it easier. That's it. We don't use any additives, fillers, flavorings, nothing like that. It's a very natural taste. It's very mild. Most people come to us and they say, "Wow, boy, I don't know," and they taste it and they say, "Wow." I think they're expecting to taste something, I don't know why,
Bitter,
awful,
terrible,
bitter,
sour,
yeah, right.
gross.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. Karen has a bottle here. That
Well,
she
I was
wants
just gonna show the difference because we get this a lot. Because this is a 1 ounce bottle, 30 milliliter. A lot of companies, I'd say the majority of companies, are selling this size bottle.
Okay.
And this is ours. So this is half. This is 15 milliliter or half an ounce. So just to show the difference between the bottles, because we get asked about that quite often when somebody sees a bottle and this looks pretty tiny compared to this size bottle here. So I thought it'd be a nice representation of
Yes.
the difference.
Real quick question is, I notice these are in hydroplet things, what they usually call them. How do you take CBD oil? What is the recommended way of taking it?
Under your tongue. This is called sublingual. That's what they call it, under your tongue. Dosage for most people, I'd like to talk about that really quick. Dosage, we get that question a lot. Most folks that we talk to with some mild to say moderate symptoms are 15, 20 milligrams, depending. We know some folks that are way on the each side of the spectrum.
Sure.
But that's what most people, 15 to 20 milligrams. What that means in a bottle, say like this, for our 500 milligram, if you kind of just do the math, 500 milligrams divided by 15, milligrams per day. So there's 500 milligrams in this whole bottle. If you're taking 15 milligrams a day, that bottle's going to last you just over a month. So that's kind of where we get we use smaller bottles, but we keep our milligrams high. So
you're taking less
taking
oil. That was one of the things that we
Right.
noticed, first and foremost too, when we started some of the CBD, when Ryan was talking earlier too, we were having to take dropperfuls of oil, and a couple of times a day was the recommendation.
Right.
And it was very difficult with the oil, that the couple of brands that we purchased, to honestly know what to take. We were trying to read, and they weren't very clear. They just weren't. We either felt like we had to be mathematicians to try to figure it out, or you're just sort of on your own. So we try to do a really good job. I mean, you can see this 500 is pretty large right there. So we try to let people know, I mean, this is how much is in the entire bottle. We'll have people say, oh, is it 500 milligrams per drop? That, no, yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. On our label, right at the bottom, 1.3 milligrams per drop. So again, we try to be really clear. So an individual drop of oil, not a dropper, but an individual drop, contains 1.3 milliliters of CBD. So as Ryan was saying, if
So
somebody...
at least people know the dose. that
Right.
they
Exactly,
have done.
yeah. The droppers are
Just-
measured as
Right.
well, so they're measured droppers in there. But if somebody wants to take 10 milligrams of CBD, you do some simple math, they're taking 7-8 drops, individual drops of oil under their tongue.
Right.
Again, so trying to make it
Again, we-
simple for folks.
Yeah, so we do keep our bottles smaller, so you're not taking as much oil. I mean, now we get back to the taste of the oil. If you have an oil that doesn't taste very good, and you're taking a dropper full of it
Yeah.
once or twice a day, I mean, that's
Yeah.
And some oils will leave, depending on the carrier oil that they use, some oils will leave a little bit of a residue in your mouth too, that we've had people sort of complain about or make mention of.
Right.
So coconut oil is, for us, has so many benefits in and of itself, combined with the CBD
Right.
was for us an obvious choice for
Yeah.
a carrier oil.
So remember, really quickly, size does matter.
Yeah.
When it comes to the bottles, yes.
Oh, of course.
Well,
What else could we do?
Exactly, yeah.
all right. Now we go beyond. Now you do have various other products that, besides the ones that you take orally,
We do.
and different forms. So why don't we go through some of those?
Sure. Well, really quickly, this is our, like I said, we have a 500 milligram, which was that one.
Right.
We also carry a 1,000 milligram and a 1,500 milligram. All the
Okay.
same size, just the dosage is higher,
This-
the potency is higher, so you're actually taking less oil.
Okay.
Like with our 1,500 milligram bottle, you're literally taking just a few drops a day.
Yeah, that bottle is 4 milligrams per drop versus the other one was 1.3. So you're just
That could potentially last about 3 months.
Right.
People come and they'll look and they say, well, it's a small bottle. And then once you kind of explain, well, here's the milligrams and here's how much you take, and it could last 3 months. You see their face like, wow, 3 months. Yeah. So that's what we're trying to just, you got to think about it sometimes and maybe do a little bit of the math and kind of go through it, because we get a lot of folks say, well, I saw a bottle at so-and-so or such and such for $40. Well, okay, how many milligrams was it? How much are you taking? How long is that bottle going to last you?
How large was the bottle?
Yeah.
Again, go back to the size
How
again.
much are you taking all at once to get that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of factors
There's a lot
with,
to it.
Sure.
with the oil, and we just keep talking. We talk about the oil because that's usually the most popular way.
yes.
But we do carry some other products. Now we don't carry 100 products. Our thought process is, CBD is kind of confusing in general. There's so much information out there. We don't want to carry 50, 100, 200 products. There's already enough confusion about CBD out there.
Sure.
Let's carry a small amount of products that we know work. We've tried them. Our family members, our friends, our pets have tried them, and they work. So let's keep it a little bit simple. So we do, along with our oil, we carry some capsules. If people don't want to take that oil under your tongue, sometimes it's easier just to take a pill and you're done. So we carry it's a 900 milligram pill, 900 milligrams total. There's 30 capsules in here, 30 milligrams each. Now 30 is a little bit higher. I told you before that most people are taking 15 to 20.
Sure.
But we do get some folks a lot of folks that have, some more moderate to severe
Right.
pain or issues or whatever it may be. So a higher dose like this is going to help.
And it also helps them not to overdose as well with the drops.
Well,
Right.
You could.
That's a great thing. I'm glad you brought that up.
You cannot
OD,
overdose
yeah.
on CBD.
And you can't overdose, but I guess take more than what you
In your
necessarily
body,
need.
right? Your body
You
can
know,
only
with
But
absorb.
that's a good point, though.
Yeah.
The overdosing, because we will have people ask us that.
Mm-hmm.
What if I take too much? Well, your body can only absorb so much.
Right.
It's like a multivitamin. You take 5 multivitamins, it just
The nice thing
What you
here,
don't
these
need
are
is
pre-measured
extracted.
for you, so you know what you're taking.
A lot of
once
people
a week.
like that.
Yeah.
It's already dosed, and
Yep.
they
With the
you know.
dropper, you kind of got to judge, and
Yeah.
if you don't want to have to worry about
If you're
that.
like me and you hate math, and then you don't want to have to figure out how many drops is equal, this
It's
one's just
easy.
like, okay.
Yeah.
It really all
that's a good
boils down
option.
to personal preference. It's how you personally want to get the CBD into your system.
once you start taking it, daily, CBD should really be taken daily too. Let's touch on that.
Yeah.
It's not something to where you, my knees start to hurt, I better take my CBD.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm getting some anxiety, I better take my CBD. It doesn't work like that. It needs to get into your system and help, like Karen said earlier, those receptors. It needs to get those receptors firing almost on a daily basis.
Right.
There's been a lot of research too with dosage as well, and how much do I take and when do I take it. There's been some more studies coming out, and you don't necessarily have to take it just once a day. You could take it a couple times a day. There's a new thing out called now microdosing, where people are taking a little bit throughout every couple hours or so throughout the day.
Right.
It's personal preference. Again, there's no study
There's
that
no
says this
wrong
is
way to
better.
take it.
Right.
There
This is
really
better.
isn't.
This is
Whatever
worse.
works best for you
Yeah.
Right.
personally.
Right.
Yeah. So we've got the pills. Do you want to share?
So we have gummies. We searched long and hard. We, again, been in business almost 16 months. We've only had our gummies maybe about 2 months. And the reason being is we did not personally want to take gummies that were full of, additives and the corn syrup and the high fructose and the sugars and everything. So we have organic gummy bears. So they do have organic cane sugar, but everything else, the coloring is turmeric, is black carrot juice, is grape juice. So it's just another quick way. They're dosed.
All natural products.
They are all natural. So we are really proud of these organic gummies. There's 10 in a pack. They're 25 milligrams each, so it goes back to your comment earlier. If you just want 20, we've even had some folks who've not taken CBD before choose to start off with the gummies. They'll cut a gummy in half, and I know it's not a lot,
Yeah.
and people think it's like kind of like cut a gummy in half, but that way, if you start with 25, you don't necessarily know, and it's not going to hurt you to start with 25 by any means, but you're not going to really know if maybe 10 milligrams may work better for you, or 8, or maybe 25 is your dose. So just another way.
I do want to say though, I'm looking at this packaging. All the information is clearly, the contents is clearly on, and you have a QR code clearly on. You guys, for not being in this type of field before, have done a phenomenal job. So your packaging is very clear. If anyone wanted to know the contents, they're right there. Dosing,
Thank
phenomenal.
you. Thank you. We try to be as transparent
Yes.
as we possibly can. We have nothing to hide. If a company you're looking at, you can't find some of this information, you may have to wonder a little bit, are they trying to hide something? Or, it's not always that. They could have just forgot, I guess.
Yeah, well,
It would be cheaper to put it in this bag than the other.
and I
you
paid
know.
quite a bit for it. Now,
Quick thing too, I'm glad you mentioned it about the packaging. We hear a lot, we get asked a lot too, again, at our events. We talk about our events a lot because, again, we don't have that brick and mortar, so we're at, around locally. Pharmaceutical grade, medical grade, if there's the verbiage on the labeling. There's a little bit more to that. That doesn't necessarily mean that product is better because it has that word, that pharmaceutical on it, or it has medical on it. So we try to make that very clear when we're speaking to people. Ryan, found out some information. We did some research because initially, all of a sudden, we started to see some of that connotation coming out, pharmaceutical grade CBD oil. So we're like, okay, what's done differently than our product?
Sure.
I'll let Ryan talk a little because he did a little bit more research and had a bit more conversation.
Yeah, really the only difference that well, it's not even a difference. To be honest with you, pharmaceutical grade or medical grade, I found out there's no extra testing. There's not a better grade of hemp necessarily. The thing that pharmaceutical grade or medical grade means is that it was produced in a USDA certified facility. Maybe it's grown to organic standards. That's really it. That's what that
And
means.
it's delivered right to
doesn't-
the facility.
Yes.
Or right to the
farm to
almost
shelf.
table.
Or
Yeah,
farm to
doesn't-
table almost. Yeah,
It
it's almost that
doesn't
concept.
really speak to the quality
There's
or
no-
to the purity.
Yeah,
Right.
there's
It's
no
just
extra
the process.
There's no extra testings. There's not a better quality of hemp. It
Not
just
that we've been able to, we've done some research and what we found there is not.
So bottom line is, our stuff is pharmaceutical grade. It really,
Right.
Okay. Next, we'll show you a couple of our topicals. We have a couple different ones here. We've got a 500 milligram cream in a 2 ounce. These are all 2 ounce. We have a 750 milligram stick, which we just got in pretty recently. It's a salve stick, so it's a little bit got a beeswax consistency, a little bit balmy.
Sure.
Stick's nice if you've got a spot that's hard to reach. But we do offer the salve in a 900 milligram as well. So it's pretty strong stuff here. So we've got a 500 milligram cream, 750 milligram stick, and a 900 milligram salve. Great for pinpointing spots. My knee's
Yes.
killing me. My shoulder
shoulder.
hurts. My neck.
Neuropathy and I have a friend that's got some neuropathy.
Feet.
It's bottom of her feet.
Yeah.
She finds relief with a salve.
And some folk, we've found some folks it works very quickly. We'll hand samples out at some of our events that we do, and folks will put some on, they'll walk around, come back 20 minutes later and say, wow, my shoulder filler, whatever it was.
Right.
What was that? I'll take one. So those are our topicals. We have a few others items here. Just forget our little patch here. That's also a topical.
Oh, okay.
It's a pain patch. You can put it on. It doesn't necessarily have to go to the point of pain, but it works really well at microdoses. Karen's good at
We sort of say stick it and forget it.
There you go.
It
like that.
microdoses the CBD into your
So
your
it's
system.
time released?
It is.
Okay.
So you put it on again. A venous area works really well. And you get for our patch, this is 25 milligrams total. So it'll last a solid 3 days. I mean, you can work out, you can swim, you can shower, and
You
it
keep
is.
this on for 3 days?
You can absolutely. So it is just another way.
So you
again,
don't want to worry about the
it's
dosing, the
very
capsules,
convenient.
just stick on the patch,
Yeah,
you're good to go.
absolutely.
Great.
Yeah,
She
venous
said
area.
to stick it and forget it.
Stick
That's
it,
right.
yeah, stick it and forget it. It's sort of the motto with the patch.
Kelly's always telling me to stick it. Forget it.
But I ain't
No.
talking about patch, I'm saying it right now.
Ah, yes, the things that I go through.
We also have an essential oil mix. It's got 11 different essential oils in it.
And I love it so
Yes,
much.
yes. It's got 50 milligrams of CBD. Not going to be your daily dose of CBD. There's 50 milligrams in this. We talked earlier about our bottle, 500 milligrams in the bottle.
Right.
This is more of a supplement, but the essential oil blend in it is
Absolutely.
is
It
great.
smells so good. And when I put it on, I get this like cooling sensation.
Yes.
Like, oh my gosh, it's just amazing.
We've had
I
a
love
lot
it
of
so
people, again,
much.
at our events, rub it on their temples if they get a little bit of a headache, and they will come back and say, wow, I can't believe that
Yep.
that worked that fast. So it's the combination of both.
Sounds like
it's
Kelly
nothing.
almost had a religious experience.
Yeah, I would say so.
It's nice,
It is. It's
relaxing. A
beautiful.
lot of folks will use it at night. I use it sometimes at night just to laying down, and it just
I honestly throw it in my purse. I'll use it. Sometimes those events in the summertime or long, hot days, I'll use it a little bit as a perfume.
and I'm very thankful
Yep,
for
I
that.
have one at home and one in my purse. Exactly.
Oh, boy. Okay, then really get real. So this is kind of like a pick-me-up during the day or something like that.
Absolutely.
And it's blended
Or
in
even
with
at
your
night.
essential
I
oils.
love just the scent is so calming and everything.
It can kind of be both. You know,
Yeah.
you said it can be a little pick because
It is a
it's
pick
weird.
me up,
It
too,
has a
but-
nice smell that kind of almost perks you up, but then it almost has.
But
It's
then you
weird.
chill
It's
It's
calming.
anyone who's associated with essential oils. It's your pulse points.
Yeah.
It is.
You know, anybody who uses essential oils frequently would gravitate towards
Sure.
that product. We have our THC free. We have our oil. So this is 750 milligrams of CBD. So again, we try to be very clear. This is an isolate. If you remember from
An
earlier,
isolate is
an isolate
minus
is THC. Correct,
THC.
minus the THC.
And all cannabinoids other than CBD.
Right, yeah, so this is
Just
CBD.
Only CBD.
Exactly, and we try to be very clear, THC free.
Right.
We got that code on there, so you can zap that, confirm that there's no THC. This is our powder, it's the same thing, it's an isolate powder. Believe it or not, this is the crushed up stems and stalk of the hemp plant. So this
Okay.
particular batch, we have our QR code right on the bottom. 99.7% pure CBD.
So what do you do with the powder? You just put in a drink?
You can
or-
put it in literally anything, but we've had success, customer base and locally, in some coffee shops and stuff. You can take that powder and mix it in. I'm drinking a nice hot cup of tea. Ryan had a London Fog. It can mix in that. You can mix it in a bottled water. Your protein drink after the gym.
A friend of
So
mine
they-
sprinkles it on his pizza.
Yeah, it can mix in literally anything. It
So
absorbs
it
really well.
counteracts the pepperoni.
Yeah.
So,
It absorbs really well in a fat.
Okay.
So it's a crystalline powder. In this jar right here, there's 1,000 milligrams of CBD in a 1 gram jar.
right.
So
Yeah, that's
again, it's a
great.
different way to get it. And you can even take this and put it right under your tongue.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
tasteless and odorless.
Absolutely.
So it works really well in coffees and teas and such.
Right.
And last but not least,
For pets.
the pets.
Ah,
Can't forget
yes.
our
Can't
pets,
forget our
right?
furry.
Those stressed out critters.
Yes, yes. We, they have a lot of the same ailments that we have.
Sure.
I mean, most of it's anxiety or some arthritis in their hips.
Right.
They have an endocannabinoid system.
They do. They do. So we have a pet oil. We have a 500 milligram pet oil now. For pets, we kind of recommend a dosage. It's a little different than people. We recommend about 1 milligram for every 10 pounds of pet. Generally, it's the dogs, but cats have some of the issues too. But it seems like dogs more often.
Right.
So yeah, we have a pet oil. We also make.
I should try it for the cat though. I'm just saying.
Oh,
My dog, I have a German Shepherd, and even though she's 10 years old, she's still like a puppy in so many ways. And I worry about her if I take her out to get her nails done and have her groomed, is she going to be a little more aggressive towards other dogs, because
Yeah.
she's in a strange place. And sometimes when we're gone, I worry about if there's a thunderstorm or something, is she going to freak out? I've been using this. Love it.
Absolutely. We've seen it work firsthand as well. We've worked with some of the shelters in the area and some of the shelter dogs that are have that high anxiety. We've seen it at some of the markets. People bring their dogs to the markets and we'll give a dog we make homemade dog treats as well.
Oh.
So we'll give a little treat to the dog and again, they'll walk around and come back and you can just tell the difference in some of these dogs. They're
Yeah.
just
Again, the dog isn't lethargic. We
Oh,
again,
no.
a lot of people, their pets are their kids,
Yes.
and they're concerned that if they're going to be high, and they will not. I mean, they don't have a lethargy at all.
It's not catnip.
So,
It is not.
is this it for the pet products, or is there
We do
treats?
pet treats as well. Unfortunately, we don't have any with us today. We fresh bake them. There's no
Okay.
preservatives in them, so you got to keep frozen. But we do have those available. We don't have them on our website only because we haven't tackled the issue yet of the shipping.
Okay.
We've shipped a few and they turn a little funky after a few days,
They
especially in
know
the
the
summer
shelf
months.
life
So-
because of the
Right.
non-preservatives.
So let's talk about how they do get a hold of you, so if they want to come by and
Or
pick
to
them
find
up
your
or
products,
find out
yes.
where they can get it. How do they get a hold of you?
Our website, Green Balance HW. The HW is for hemp and wellness. We didn't want to make the website this long. greenbalancehw.com. From there, we have a contact form. You can send us an email. We have an events tab. that will show all the different events we're at each week, each month.
And you have a Facebook page
We have
as well.
Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, we try to do a very good job of posting our events, especially on Facebook.
Which is
We
great.
will post where we're going to be at. We also try to give a shout out to all the local businesses that we're into. We're in close to about 30 businesses now locally.
Lake and Porter County.
Lake and Porter County.
And they could find out if they want to go to your website, can find out
Where they can
located.
pick up some of these things locally
Correct.
for them.
Well, our website is going to be going under some construction. We don't have that information
Okay.
just yet,
Okay.
all the
That's all right.
businesses,
Yeah.
but it will be on there probably within the next month or so.
Keep checking,
Yes.
Great.
that's right.
Great. Well, we'll put a link to your website and all the different contact information, but we better start wrapping up here. And is there anything else you would like to share with us?
Oh, we could talk forever.
We could, yeah. You know what, we just, of course, we'd love for you to buy Green Balance products. But if you don't, that's okay too. Just do your homework.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
the
key
look at
thing.
what you're buying.
Right.
The muffler shop,
But-
the video stores and the gas stations and all that. It's like,
Know what you're buying.
yeah, we don't know
Know
what
what
they
you're
all
buying.
carry, but we do know some of the brands in the area. It's like Karen said earlier, some are really good, some. So look what you're buying. Look at your ingredients.
And I have to throw this out because it just made me laugh. She says, "Oh, we could talk forever," and he pretends he's looking at a watch and he's got an infinity symbol there. And I thought, well, that's perfect. He can talk forever.
And
That's the
unfortunately,
time.
we can't.
No,
We can't, so.
Thanks for having us.
Thank
Oh,
you
no
very
problem.
much.
Thank you. This has
Thank
been
you.
very
Thanks.
informative, and we'll put the information up on the video
Absolutely.
and make sure they know how to get hold of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
again.
you.
Very helpful. And goodbye for now.
Thank you.